here, and then they got to come back in the best shape of their life. That's kind of what you have to do every time you're getting ready to start training.
Kevin, what's the next couple of weeks look for you and the coaching staff?
Getaway. Yeah, I think, the coaches do a great job, and they've done a really nice job this offseason. Very pleased with the work that the guys have gotten done. So now's the time to charge the battery, reconnect with the family, go make some visits, those type of things.
You on vacation? When are you going on vacation?
Yeah, location undisclosed, Jeff, so you don't bother me.
Are any of the players invited? Since they didn't invite you, I'm guessing you're not inviting them.
I'm respectful of their time, so I'll leave them alone.
Josh Dobbs kind of strikes me as a genius. Is that too?
Yeah, I don't know what the definition is, but he's pretty darn close. He's a really good guy. Just enjoy being around Josh. Knows a lot about football. He knows a lot about a lot also. So really impressive young man.
What did you see from that room in general from April?
Yeah, they came very, very far in the 9 weeks we were together, just from a understanding of the scheme, the operation of things, the functioning of in and out of the huddle, different snap counts, different concepts. We've thrown a lot at them. We haven't held back, and they've done a nice job with it, and they've worked really hard.
I've asked you about Jacoby Brissett before, but what have you learned about him in these 9 weeks, Kevin, that you might not have known before?
He's a good basketball player. He won our shooting contest down there at the Cavs facility, so I learned that. But no, he's a good person. We knew that doing our homework on him, but I've just been real impressed with how he prepares, how he operates in practice. He really treats it game-like.
Jacoby talked about wanting to master the offense. Can you do that in 10 or 12 weeks, or is that for the summer?
No, I don't think you can. I think you can introduce it. I think you can get comfortable with it. But we do want to become masters of the offense by the time week 1 rolls around. But it's a process, and you can't just plug something in the back of your head and get it. You got to work at it and spend some time with it.
You've had 2 off seasons impacted by COVID. This first one really hasn't. What's the biggest difference? Is it just on the field? Is it the togetherness?
Yeah, I mean, it's the off season, the way we structured it to make sure that we were safe in everything we did, make sure it was competitive, and made sure we had fun. And I think the guys had fun. They had fun competing, pushing each other. But I think ultimately we got a lot of work done, but we did it in a safe manner.
This stands to be a pretty big year for Chad. What have you seen from him this spring?
What have we seen?
Jedrick Wills.
Oh, Jed. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I think Jed's right where we need him. He's worked extremely hard this offseason. I thought he came back in really, really good shape. So it's just a continuation of that, work, and I think he'll be right where we need him.
Kevin, you mentioned wanting to get comfortable with Deshaun and what he's able to do in the offense, and you understanding what he can do. Is that process done now, or is that going to continue?
No, I think that's ongoing. I think anytime you add a player, you study all of their tape, and you kind of get a sense for what they're comfortable with, and then you get around the player and you talk through concepts, and then you start to adjust. And then, when we start week 1 to week 17, the offense evolves. You add plays. There are plays that we haven't installed, I'm sure, that we're going to run next year. So it's really just trying to make sure throughout the season you're constantly searching for unique ways to get a different guy the ball, unique ways on 3rd down to get a 1st down. So that really is always evolving, but certainly with the quarterback in mind and what his comfort level is.
David Bell seems to have had a really good spring and made a strong
Kevin Stefanski on the home of the Browns.
What are your observations of how he's come along here?
Yeah, a very, very diligent worker. Wants to be good at this, so you see him working. He's the guy that gets extra. He'll be in the facility at all hours, working real hard with Coach O'Shea to refine the game. He's a rookie, so he's got plenty of room to grow, and we'll have time to do that, but he's doing a nice job. He's working hard.
What have you learned about Amari Cooper that you didn't know before you guys traded for him?
Well, I think for anybody that first meets him, Amari's size. I mean, he is a big, physical player. Maybe not 6'6", but you see how strong he is. So that's been impressive, just seeing how he operates on the field. And then a really impressive worker in the classroom. He's a pro's pro. I don't think there's anything that we've challenged.
10 seconds.
He doesn't just get immediately. So his intelligence / football intelligence is very impressive.
You're hot. NRG Stadium. All right, coming up here at the top of the hour, we have Z going to talk with Anthony Walker Jr., Amari Cooper at the podium. Also want to get Z's kind of views on what you saw today in the final minicamp practice, so we will do that. Before we do all of that, though, I want to remind you that Rumpke Waste Recycling, family-owned and operated. Whether you join them as a customer, as an employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit rumpke.com to learn more.
Quick aside before we take a break, but isn't it odd how bizarre a football field looks without goalposts?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just.
Yeah.
And they're really. I know that they're very bright and easy to see, and they're all the way at the ends. But the rest of the field just looks it looks odd without it.
It does. It also, anytime like I see this much green space like this, I think of how much fun like little kids would have running on it.
Oh my God.
Like you'd have the time of your life running around on this thing right now.
What I wish is if they were going to pull this turf up, and I'm guessing they are, right? We got Monster Jams coming.
I would assume that it's coming up. I think I know where you're going, and I think we're on the same page.
What I want to do is keep the uprights up.
Yeah.
And then hit wedges through the uprights. We'll start at 10, 20, 30, and just go the whole way, and then hit one the whole way right through the uprights.
Yeah.
Like, what could be more fun than that?
That'd be a lot of fun.
I just was hoping that I could take some of the turf home.
What are you going to do with it, Gibby? It'd die die right away.
No, it won't die right away.
You're going to nurture it?
Yeah. You can move it. It can be moved.
You want to have that turf like become your turf, you're saying? You're
going
to replace your lawn.
Do you think I see what you're saying, like a bunch of it.
Yeah,
like
right down my backyard.
Like you want it rolled up.
Roll it up and lay it down.
And then you get on that zero turn, and you're going to have the time of your life.
I'm going to tell you something. You'd be very frustrated with the squirrel population. Those guys tear up new turf, man. Those guys are lawless. You know what my landscaper said to me? He goes, you want a permanent solution here. Sunflower seeds and water. I said, the problem there is that's going to lead to vultures.
Yeah.
That's going to lead to birds.
Yeah. So I can't have that.
Can't have that. All right, I have a real quick question for you guys.
Is it getting ready to rain, by the way?
It does
feels
look like
it.
Yeah. The temp has dropped.
It doesn't feel like it.
But
it's still
dark.
117 here in the booth.
But it's maybe 116 now. So at Baltimore.
There's a breeze. Maybe we should open that up.
At Baltimore, don't you feel like at Baltimore the top deck comes closer to the field, like it's more of a straight up and down? And I've always wondered, and this, again, we have the turf so that we could do it now. I always thought that you could hit a wedge from down here. You'd have to be close, obviously, because you need to go out and hit it, get it up into the top deck.
You could.
And people were like, no way. And I said, I think absolutely. Like,
you could,
look at what
sure.
120 yards looks like. Look how long this is.
Are you saying like if you stood like on this near sideline, hitting it up to the top deck? For sure you could.
That's what I think too. People told me I was nuts. I was like, you're nuts. These are the things that we should be doing today, though.
This is what today should have been.
Yeah. I do have my clubs in the car, if you can get us some turf approval.
No, that's on you.
I think we just do it until somebody stops us.
They don't even want you standing on the grass. You see those signs?
No, they're pulling it all up, though. They're
saying don't stand on it. They certainly don't want me taking divots.
Well, they must not be pulling it up because they're watering it. So they must not be getting rid of it.
This is also true.
They're pulling it up at some point, though.
If they're telling people not to be on it and they're watering it, then they're going to try and save it.
Do you think they
So I'm saying they put the monster truck stuff over it.
Over it?
Yeah.
So
like
you
they
put a tarp down?
And then the mud and then over it. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, how are you cleaning that up?
I don't know, but that's what they're doing. There's no. Because why would you care? Why would you water?
I don't know. Not my problem.
No, it's not. But I see signs don't touch, and I see watering leads me to believe that they wouldn't be thrilled with us hitting wedges. Where if they were just saying the heck with it, we're replacing it, wedge away, boys. Who's stopping you?
By the way, Big Drew just texted me and says, you stand like that with your legs at that angle in every meeting that we have.
That Gibby does?
Yeah. So is that like a comfortable position? Did you even know when?
No.
You didn't even know you were doing it?
No.
What is this ligament? This is the one that would snap.
Medial collateral?
Yep, snapped. If I tried doing that.
I made that up, but it feels right.
You said it so emphatically. You could have said anything as long as it was collateral.
It's either the
ACL,
MCL or the
PCL, MCL.
Or the LCL.
Or the LCL. You pick it. I don't know. All right. A-Walk up next. Cleveland Browns Daily.
This is the ACL in here, right?
ESPN Cleveland. I think it's here.
And this is your patella tendon.
This is your ACL.
Yeah. You don't want this to ever go. That's a bad one. If your patella goes.
Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily. What a treat to be joined by Anthony Walker Jr., looking resplendent in the number 5. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Just getting better, trying to get better each day with the team, trying to take those next steps. Right now just phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, understanding what it is. A chance for us to grow, get better, relearn, reteach, just come together as a team.
You know what I loved is right before we talked, you were standing over there with John Johnson. You guys are going through, obviously, one of the plays that happened earlier and kind of talking through that. Is that something you love to do, just kind of get the minutia down, get everybody on the same page? Because it feels like this defense has a chance to be special.
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime that we have, miscommunication or an error that we need to get, we want to get to it right now. There's no need to wait. That's the good thing about playing professional football. You have guys that everybody wants to know and be on the same page. So, John's like, hey, how would you play this, or how would we play this? And I'm, giving him my insight, and then we're able to share a comment. And then all it is for us to get better. We just want to be perfect as a team. There's no such thing as perfect, but the closer you get, the closer you are to greatness.
So just help me help the audience, because they'll hear, okay, cover 3. Mm-hmm. And they think, oh, okay, we've got 2 deep on the outside, the middle of the field's closed, guy comes down, everybody's got their little zones.
No doubt.
If they motion into trips, if they motion into a bunch, how many different checks are there? Just to give people a concept of like, yeah, you may get a call, but based on then if 1 becomes 3 and 2 becomes 1, how it changes everything that you guys have to do, and how people should really understand that there are probably 100 different things going on in a split second right before the ball snapped, and then even after.
Yeah, that's the beauty of football. People think, oh, I could just play cover 3 and I know what cover 3 is, or I could play cover 2 and I know what cover 2 is. Everything kind of just goes at the snap of the whistle, at the snap of the ball. And you got to play off of what the offense does, and that's why I like playing defense, because it's reactive, So, like you said, the base of it is cover 3, and you could understand it as that. But if 3 goes somewhere, I got to go somewhere else, and I'm off of 3, Yeah. So that's just the little nuances of it, the beauty of the game, in my opinion. Being able to understand how the field is spaced out, and what the offense is trying to attack, and how they're trying to pull you to a certain area so they can open up something in the middle or something outside. Just because the middle is closed, that doesn't mean that the offense can't pull the safety one way and throw a quick bang the other side. So, just understanding that. Also, you have to play the run. It's not easy, but that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and that's why you got to get all 11 guys, and you're trying to make sure, right, seeing with the same eyes. It was funny, I was watching with Coach Howard, the DB coach, and we got through 4 plays an hour, because I was like, well, what about this, and what about, and he's like, oh, yeah, we check all. I don't think people get that. And I think it's one of the things, the respect I have for what you guys do on defense is immense because of that. There's so much athleticism is required, but there's so much cerebral nature that is required as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, cerebral. Just the understanding, like you said, the reactive. Everything is reactive. The offense know exactly where they have to get to, obviously based on where our landmarks are, but, we have to go off what the offense does. We could say this is our landmark, but if everybody's on that side, that's not my landmark anymore. Right. So just understanding where the offense is trying to attack. And that's if you get the basics of what cover 3 is, obviously what are the areas that can be attacked, where the offense tries to attack you.
When you think about coming back this season, and so you're back, and Jacob's back in your room, and Jeremiah's back in your room, Sione's back, Tony Fields is back, and then you look behind you, and oh, there's John and Grant and Ronnie and Rich again, and oh, there's Denzel and Greg again, and Greedy, and now A.J. Green, and Herb Miller again, and of course MJ Emerson adds into the mix. But to have that kind of continuity, how much does that help being able to be, I'd imagine you guys feel like right now today you're light years ahead of where you were a year ago.
Oh, no doubt. Way light years. Like you said, just having the same guys, very similar guys in the room on the defense, obviously up front. Obviously, that's where it starts. They're the engine that drives our team. So to have those guys up front, and then, the linebacker room, pretty much all the guys come back. And then on the defensive backs, I feel very comfortable with all those guys behind us. We're in a much better position than we was last year at this time. I will say that.
On the field, off the field, it sounds like you are as well. I know you kind of touched on that at the Hall of Fame. Can you expand on that in terms of the positives for this year? Not necessarily what it was last year, but what it's becoming now.
No. And when I said that yesterday, I don't want anybody to think that we had a negative locker room. I loved all those guys in the locker room. What I was saying was with COVID, you have 2 different locker rooms. I'm pretty sure every team had this because we had it in Indy too. You have 2 different locker rooms. You have one guy in the locker, 3 lockers empty, and then another guy in the locker. So everybody's spaced out. Everybody has to come in different times, sometimes for lifts, for treatment, all that stuff. So you really only see each other outside of the building, you know. And in football, where I think you get closest, obviously you want to hang out with your guys outside. But when you're in the building and you're going through those workouts, you're going through that treatment together, you're going through lifts together, the grind of practice, getting in the cold tub, getting in the sauna, getting in the steam room, all that stuff matters. And I think that's where we've grown a lot. Yeah. And because, you know, we don't have the issue of COVID protocols anymore, I think that's what's made us a closer team, you know. So when you understand, I told my dad yesterday, this is the first time in 3 years where I've seen everybody in the locker room together. First time in 3 years.
It's crazy.
It was the last time I saw that, where we had everybody, the whole team in one locker room. That's like, it's kind of like foreign language right now.
There are a lot of guys that we talked about that are with you that have never seen it.
Exactly. So it's like, wow, like to have this and to understand that. And, you know, I missed it, honestly, because, like you said, that's where you grow. Yeah. That's where you get that camaraderie at. You know, we spend, you know, we'll be done practice at 12 o'clock, 12:30, and guys won't leave the building until 2 because we're sitting in the locker room talking, playing music, in the sauna, in the steam room, guys taking care of their bodies, all that stuff. And when you're able to do that and, you know, not have to worry about, you know, the COVID protocols, obviously that, I mean, you're a much closer team because you spend more time together.
Yeah, not only just on the defense, as you said, the whole team. So now the defense and the offense can get together, which I think is a big thing. We talk about the 3 phases, and special teams we know is comprised of both, but to be able to have that rapport and that relationship on both sides of the ball, it helps because, look, games throughout the season, there are going to be games where the defense is carrying. There are games with the offense, and there are going to be games where everything clicks, and it's a wonderful feeling. But to have that, is that a big thing too? Because not just the defense, but to have the defense and the offense together.
Man, you just hit on it. I don't care if we win 199 or 3-2, however we get it done. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for, you know, us coming together. I mean, everybody on offense, everybody on defense, special teams, we understand that this is a one team, one goal, and however we get it done, we're going to be happy. We're going to support each other. And, again, we're going to have bumps in the road. You know, that's just a part of the game that we play. But the closer we are, like I said, the closer we are to perfection, you know, the greater we'll be.
What made you want to come back here and do this again?
I really enjoyed the defense last year. I enjoyed the system that Coach Woods run. And then obviously, you know, to have a chance to, you know, win a championship. I think we just hit on it, you know, with these visits yesterday, the visit here today. We've been talking about it a lot, the history of this team, the history of, you know, the city of Cleveland, and to bring a championship, to have opportunity to bring a championship here is huge.
You know what I've loved about this mini camp and these OTAs when you guys, it's been a passing camp, right? So 7-on-7's been the main periods of competition, right? You guys don't have pads on, but it's been real competition. This is a good offense, and you guys on the back end are really good. I mean, we've seen times where they had to kind of scramble drill in a 7-on-7. You don't see that very often. How do you feel about where this D is, but then also what you're seeing from the offense that's coming against you guys?
Yeah, I'm excited about the defense. You know, we're taking steps in the right direction. Obviously, light years, like you said, from where we were last year, but also not close to where we want to be, you know, by the time September comes and by the time, you know, we're getting ready for playoff football. So, obviously, we got a lot of steps to go, but I like where we're at. Offensively, I mean, I love those guys. They compete. They're hungry. You know, Amari Cooper out there, receiver, talking trash. Obviously, Chubb, you know, being able to run the ball with Chubb, Kareem, Dearness. Man, it's a sight to see, to go against those guys, to compete against those guys. Like I tell our defense all the time, we're going against one of the best offenses, one of the most complex offenses to play against. So, you know, I feel like if we can break 50-50 or even win matches against them, I think we put ourselves in great position on Sundays.
What are you doing for the summer?
Training, getting my mind right. I'm also opening a gym. I'm a franchise owner of a gym called Hotworks in Miami. And moving into my new house in Miami, so I'll be happy.
Congratulations on that. In
5 seconds.
Always a pleasure, and best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you back here at training camp.
Definitely. Appreciate you guys having me. Go Browns.
You're hot.
Good stuff from Z there, and good stuff here from my friends at Rainier Home Exteriors, where beautifying and protecting your home is their passion. Upgrade the look of your home and create a high return on investment with new siding from Rainier Home Exteriors, ranging in every architectural style and over 50 colors. It's $1,500 off and free insulation wrap plus 0% interest for qualified buyers. In addition, Renew Home Exteriors will meet or beat competitors' estimates by up to 10% and pay you $100. Beautify your home with premium siding and roofing products at lower prices with Renew Home Exteriors. Visit RenewEstimate.com for more. We'll get Z's impressions of this final day of minicamp. Get your U.S. Open leaderboard as well. Amari Cooper at the bottom of the hour. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. A lot of bad advice out there about gambling, from secret methods to picking lottery numbers to betting big when you're on a roll. The miss can lose you money, get you in a lot of trouble. So before you wager, find out what's real and what isn't at keepitfunohio.com. U.S. Open, Rory McIlroy, I believe, at the top of this thing at 3 under.
A big group at
David
3 under.
Lingmerth, former Memorial champion,
yes.
in the mix as well.
Not a tall guy either.
No. A wee lad.
A wee lad, yeah.
Yep.
That's where it sits.
What have you made of what you've seen this morning so far at the U.S. Open?
Course is playing pretty fair.
Really fair for U.S. Open. I mean, that many guys 3 under.
Yeah, I know that you were going into it. You didn't want to see them struggle, but it looks like bad shots would be heavily penalized, and so
place looks great.
Fantastic. It really does look great. It looks great, and I think it's going to be a good championship. And I think Rory is, obviously coming off of his win last week. He feels like he's in the zone, had a good start. Probably he's unhappy that he bogeyed the last. Tough putt from Tony Finau just now.
No one's read this green good all day.
Yeah.
It's been the same thing all day. Did I tell you this morning the Peacock was my breaking point? I refused.
You're out.
I'm out. I was going to set up for it. I was ready to watch it. I'm up at that hour, obviously, and I thought, okay, I'll watch a few first holes. This will be fun. I go to download it, and I'm okay, here we go. So I'm like, well, surely I'll be able to watch just with ads. Oh, no, you had to pay the $5. I mean, it literally was pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view. Like, if you don't have that app, it is pay-per-view. Now, I thought it was going to go to like 10 or 11, so I thought I was going to be more mad about it, but it actually went to USA at 9:30, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But I have reached my breaking point with the
apps.
Got to download more apps to have more nonsense. Like,
well, the only good news for you is if you ever decide to get into the Peacock world is that you will have access to the WWE library.
So that library is in there.
Lives
you and I had
Peacock.
talked about that. My kids are really into that now.
Then
they
definitely
love Raw
and
all that. But should I start back or should I just jump in now with them?
No,
like
jump in
now.
now with them, but then you can show them. There'll be stuff on current guys. There's features, little mini documentaries on Orton and Reigns and The Miz and all kinds of people. And then you could say, oh, well, let's watch some of the classics. Let's watch some of the good stuff.
The old stuff, back in the day. Yeah.
Sure.
So there you go. All right, but it was the breaking point for me. I'm sitting there with all these apps, and I'm just going to myself, like, wouldn't it be nice if all of these things were in one place, in one bundle? And oh yeah, that was cable. That's what cable used to be. Was that? And instead it's this. So it's just too many.
Well, and now you're still paying. Whether you cut the cord and you're using YouTube
I still
TV
use
or
cable.
all there, you still use cable. It's that plus now a bunch of apps.
Yeah, all these apps, and I can't keep up.
Do you want Hulu? Do you want Apple Plus? Do you want,
I'm telling you,
Paramount, Peacock.
I got to watch
all of it.
I got 6 episodes left of Peaky Blinders because I've watched that from the beginning, and then I'm out. I'm out on Netflix. I'm done with it.
That's it.
And I've been there for a dozen years at least, and I'm out.
I'm in on Stranger Things right now, and I am loving it. Like I think this season of Stranger Things, they've really upped it as there are more.
Once that's done, do you have anything else? Because everything else on Netflix I've done. It's done.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm done.
And it's not cheap anymore.
No. No. I'm out of it. What did you? What was today like? What jumped out?
So today, again, as has been typical, the most competitive periods were some 7-on-7 periods. The Chief had a nice day, a couple of touches. Again, a lot of situational football work, a lot of third down work, and a lot of red zone work. Deshaun Watson had a couple of touchdowns to the Chief down there. A touchdown. The practice ended with a Watson to David Bell touchdown along the back of the end zone. But the defense had some moments. Herb Miller got a nice interception and was a great bounce back for him because on one of the plays earlier, Watson hit Anthony Schwartz for a very easy touchdown. Was too easy, honestly. And then he came back in a one-on-one jump ball situation and intercepted a pass intended for the Chief. So it was good. A good back and forth. I think the highlights, again, as I talked about, Watson, how good he looks in the defense, how good they look now. Denzel Ward did jog off at one point with a leg injury. I don't think anybody's too concerned about that. But then you get to Cade York, and so they did some kicking in here. And he hit one with everybody screaming at him, hooting and hollering at him. And by the way, he also signed his contract today. The Browns just announcing that the rookie signed his contract. But he hit one from 50 yards with everybody on the team screaming at him, hooting and hollering. You could hear some of the stuff, Chief giving him the business. A lot of guys telling him, don't you dare miss this, blah, blah, blah. And he absolutely nuked it right down the middle. It went through from 50 at the very top of the uprights, and it looked like it had another 20 yards to it. I mean, just nuked it. And I said to Preef, I go, I go, man, that kick from 50 was impressive. He goes, was it? I didn't even see it. And he goes, no, yeah, that was impressive.
Preef's so happy. That makes me happy.
Oh, a happy Preef is a
Look
wonderful
at Mickelson in this attire.
It's great.
All black, no sponsor, just his logo on the hat and on the shirt. Now, he wore, last week at the Live Tour, he wore the Augusta National for the first half of the first round, and then that was off. Like, he wore a blacked-out Augusta National, and then they pulled it. That was it. And without question, I'm sure somebody at Augusta said, get that off your chest. You are not wearing that here. We're not going to have that statement because it was gone, and he hasn't worn it since. But he wore it the first few holes of the Live event.
I like a little Gary Player all in black. I went through a phase where I liked to just wear black on the golf course, but now I've expanded my color
colors.
palette.
Yeah. Player is what I think of when I and then he's bearded.
The beard is what it makes
the mirrored
it. Yes.
aviators. He's bearded. He's got a hell of a mop, it appears.
Yes.
On the thing. I don't know how he's being received out there. It's pretty amazing for a guy who was so consumed with his public image that now he's like blanket.
Yeah, he looks like if Bradley Cooper in the Hangover scene called and was like, "Yeah, we messed up," and that guy was wearing all black and playing golf. That's what he looks like right now.
If you were to have a drink of something with an amount of alcohol in it and watching The Hangover, every time Bradley Cooper's character says, "Everybody just calm down," you'd be done.
Toast.
He really wants, in the most not calm situation ever. Like, they have a baby, they don't know whose it is, they don't know where their friend is. He's consistently very much everybody just calm down. No, dude, like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, we're not going to calm down.
Actually, in retrospect, Ed Helms is quite reasonable for considering the position that they find themselves
in. Ed Helms is the most reasonable and is made out to be a lunatic by Bradley Cooper.
He's clearly
and he's having
the right thought process in the move. Like, a lot of bad stuff happened here overnight. Like, there's a tiger. Mike Tyson knocked me out. Our buddy's gone. I got a baby. Like,
I don't have a tooth.
Like, there's a lot. And Cooper's like, everybody just
and
calm
Doug's
down.
gone. A human is gone.
A human's gone.
It's my Saturday night.
Leave him gone.
Fine. Worse. He doesn't measure up. The thing about that movie is that Bradley Cooper, let's not forget, is an elementary school teacher.
Correct. Yeah.
And yet carries himself. Not to say that an elementary school couldn't, but his persona would be that. To me, he reminds me of he is like a super wealthy
he's running a hedge fund
who's or was a trust fund kid.
Absolutely.
Just has always dominated the world.
A lot of confidence.
His clothes are quite fine that he actually wears out in Vegas.
It's a hell of a suit.
It's a hell of a suit. Looks tailored specifically to his being. That doesn't measure up to
that personality would not equate to that profession.
Right.
Yeah. No, it would not. Would not do that at all. By the way, of course, Gibby chiming in just his Saturday night.
Yeah, I heard that. And sometimes you have to just speed right past. You gotta just
go right through it at this point.
It's a good move.
Like, do you think that you missed a calling as a hockey goalie because your ability to contort your legs and you wouldn't even have a 5?
No, you wouldn't even have it. Just
knees
put
in.
the knees in or the feet in, and then
have you ever thought about
that? Through with a long glove.
How many other people? Because some guy sent us a picture that also is doing that. How many people have you ever met that can do what you do?
I've never noticed other people. I've never
noticed
they're coming in.
I've never noticed it. I've noticed you today, and I know that sometimes you'll go like a little slightly pigeon toe, but I've never seen you go like a full 90, and you didn't even know you were doing it. Like, that is a stunning thing to me. Like, don't you think his knees would never be in jeopardy like on a snowboard?
I don't think they ever would be.
Yet I've had a fantastic ACL reconstruction and a blown out MCL.
How?
That explains it.
Playing hoops.
What happened?
I was playing on an interns team, actually.
Oh, for God's sakes, Gibby.
Came down, the guy got underneath me, just came down with a rebound, pop, blew it up. My hamstring they grafted my hamstring. It's my ACL.
Oh, my God. He's a medical marvel.
He's the most guy. I think, like, when everybody's talking about the most interesting man in the world and we go on and we say, oh, this person, Gibby might actually truly be the most interesting man in the world.
All right. So as I mentioned, there was a game. This is a game, some Monday Night Football game that's airing on the NFL Network. So we know that Al Michaels is on this game. We know that Dennis Miller is on this game. We know that Dan Fouts is on this game. So that we know. Can you guys guess? Z, I know you weren't watching. Can you guess who is working sidelines?
I could not
in this game.
I think I figured it out, but I didn't recognize him at first.
This was Monday Night Football when there was no Sunday Night Football. So this was the show in town.
Yes.
Monday Night Football, ABC Sports.
He was interviewing Dennis Green coming off of the field at halftime.
There are 2 people working sidelines. So it's a 3-man booth with Dennis Miller, Dan Fouts, and Al Michaels. And then there are 2 people on the sidelines.
I don't remember the Dan Fouts era of Monday Night Football.
Well, he was in there with Dennis Miller, and I think I don't know that people would remember the Dennis Miller era.
I do. I mean, I just remember the Dennis Miller era Monday Night Football.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then and then shortly thereafter they tried it with the same thing with Kornheiser. And Kornheiser did Monday Night Football for a few years. Kornheiser and Jaws and Tirico. But that was on ESPN. This is ABC.
When was it? Who was with Gruden and Jaws? Who was the third with them? Because they were together, right?
It was Gruden, Jaws, and Tirico, and Jaws got swallowed up by Tirico.
Oh, yeah.
Tirico had no.
I just love when Gruden be like, "Well, Ron." Give him a lot of Rons.
A lot of Rons, and he also, at that time, Tirico really had no interest in Kornheiser, and so he wouldn't set him up for anything. Like he wouldn't placate it. But anyway, give me your guess. Best guess on whose sidelines were.
I don't even know where to begin. I heard
Can I give you a Melissa Stark?
Okay.
Which you remember that era, and an Eric Dickerson.
What?
That's what I didn't recognize him at first.
No
and then
clue.
I was like, I think that's Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson.
Not sure.
The Eric Dickerson Monday Night Football experience was a disaster. They had him on sidelines.
How long could that have lasted?
Could not have lasted long. So they had Dennis Miller in the booth, and Eric Dickerson on sidelines. Think about that. Think about that when you think about this. Amari Cooper at the podium. Up next. There you go. Cleveland Brown Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. And the Bath Authority can give you that bathroom of your dreams, and you can do it in about a day. You can transform that current bathroom you have into a custom bath. That thing's going to feel like a spa by the time they're done with it. Let the Bath Authority make it a reality for you. They can do so at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler with expert factory-trained installers. Call now for $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. Give them a call at 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. It's where affordability meets quality. Guys, they have the largest selection of bath projects. They're all made in the United States. They can change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Simply put, superior products with expert installers. You call right now at 216-220-8399. You get $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. Check them out at thebathauthority.com. Tell them that Beau sent you. And now here's our new number one receiver, Amari Cooper, at the podium.
Can you visualize how good
you're down?
Oh, of course. I mean, listen, this team was good last year. You know, one of the things that was an emphasis in the offseason was improving in the passing game. And most of this camp, this has been a passing camp. Coach emphasized that. And I think we were pretty successful. Obviously, we still have to iron out a lot of details and get better. But I think overall it was a successful passing camp.
When you come into a new team, just how long does it take to, I guess, master the offensive system, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can't give you a definite answer because, I mean, every team is different, every offense is different. Some teams have a whole bunch of installs. Like, I was at the Raiders with John Gruden my last year there, and the installs never stopped, so you never really mastered the offense. But, you know, every team pretty much has the same terminology. It's just some teams have more plays than others, you know. But specifically speaking on the Browns, like I said before, we've installed everything. It's not that much to memorize and to perfect, but like I said before, I could see how we could be very successful with the plays that we have. I think I'll master it in this 6 week break that we have, because I'm taking my iPad with me and I'll be studying the whole time. So I think by the time I come back for training camp, you know, I'll have all the details ironed out.
Amari, what do you think of the younger guys at your position, and how have you kind of been able to help them come along this year? Have you been giving them any tips?
Yeah, of course. You know, that's the position that I'm in now. Going into my 8th year, these guys look at me like an old guy. Especially, you know, the rookies, not just the second and third year players. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of explosion. I've been seeing a lot of they pay attention to detail. They know the importance of them, you know, coming in every day and knowing their stuff and trying to perfect everything they do, because they know the position that they're in as far as making a team and stuff like that. But they've been doing a good job, you know, very efficient.
What's your, you know, speaking of the rookies, just David Bell, what do you think of him? What type of impression has he made on you early on?
Yeah, I mean, you can see that he's a perfectionist. Like, he wants to do everything right. And he's a young player, so he's only going to get better. But I've seen some good stuff out of him. I haven't seen him drop many balls. He takes coaching very well. You know, I was in his ear a couple of times about certain routes, and he immediately went out there and did it. So, you know, he's going to play a lot this year. Obviously, you know, all of us have to earn our role, but I think he'll do a good job in training camp. And like I said, he takes coaching well, so I think he'll be a tremendous player for us this year.
You changed scenery a couple of times in your career. Just how has this experience been for you, and do you feel like you've been able to settle in here, not only in Cleveland, but just, you know, with the Browns and the organization?
Yeah, I found a place. You know, I'm comfortable. Great tradition here, football environment, which I love, you know what I mean? I think this place suits me really well, actually, you know, my personality and everything like that. So I'm just looking forward to the opportunity, you know, and I've been getting a lot of opportunities in this camp, and I understand that, you know, when you get those opportunities, you have to take full advantage of them, because that's how you get more opportunities, and that's what I've been trying to do, that's what I've done, and I'm just going to try to improve on that when training camp comes.
Can you explain what you mean when you say you think it suits your personality? Why do you see that kind of fit?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just it's definitely slower paced than the place that I'm from, which is Miami. You know, it kind of reminds me of, coming out of Miami as a 17-year-old, going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, everything was just a little bit slower, and all I had to do was focus on football, which is all I wanted to do. Like, I didn't put an emphasis on, like, having fun in college. Although I did have fun, that wasn't what I was there for, and that's not what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to, be a great player. I still want to accomplish a lot of things, and I feel like that I can do that here.
With, at this stage in your career, and with the experience you have in life and in the league, with the makeup of the room, are you taking on more of a leadership role than you ever had?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said before, a lot of leadership comes with experience and age, and it becomes easier and easier over time because really, from what I can see now, leadership is just experience. It's so easy to lead once you have that experience because everything that these young guys are going through, you either went through it or you saw somebody else who you was on a team with previously go through it, and you saw how the outcome was. So you can just, hey, this is how this is going to happen. This is how that is going to happen. It's just easy. So it's funny, too, sometimes because a lot of things that the young guys worry about, they really shouldn't be worrying about, but you can't really, you just have to let them go through it sometimes. But, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great opportunity for me to be able to lead those guys. And, I look forward to it. That's something I really look forward to doing.
Coach, your trade here kind of happened early in the offseason, and then there's been a whole lot of wide receiver news and contracts. And what's kind of been your reaction as you've seen the movement across the league and some of the money that's been paid out to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the business, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, there's no player that's in the league now who was in the league 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, it all comes to an end. At some point, you move on. You play for different teams. But really, I'm just focused on being where my feet are. I'm focusing on the present. I'm focusing on the opportunity that's at hand right now. And I think this is a tremendous opportunity right now for me, for the Cleveland Browns. I think I could do some really great things here. And I look forward to it.
I mean, some guys are driven by comparing themselves to other guys. You're not like that? You're kind of just internally motivated like that?
Yeah, I don't really feel like other receivers. I don't really feel the need to compare myself to other receivers because I feel like everything that a receiver should embody, I think that I can do. I can high point the ball and run great routes. I create separation. I can win at the line of scrimmage. I can win at the top of a route. Everything that you need a wide receiver to do, I can do it. So there's no need to compare myself to another guy. I think I could do I can check all those boxes perfectly fine. So I'm just focusing on, the details. Whatever box that I didn't check on a particular day of practice, for example, like yesterday, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I had a double move. I high pointed the ball, but I didn't catch it. I did one thing right. I high pointed the ball, but I got to come down with it. And I know I can come down with it because, like I said, I feel like I can do anything that a receiver is supposed to do. And so I go back and I say, what should I have done better? Which simply catch the ball, But, yeah, that's what I'm comparing myself to. What I did the previous day, I'm not really comparing myself to the other receiver.
When you talk about checking boxes, you've had a very productive career, but do you think there's a higher level to reach for you? Do you think you've reached the best version of yourself yet?
Oh, no, definitely not. But, I look forward to doing that here. I think the opportunity here is great. And like I said, I've been given a lot of opportunity here throughout the course of the practices that we've had. And I just look to build on those opportunities. And hopefully, as I continue to make plays, when the games start rolling around, I get all those opportunities in the game to show that I'm that guy, So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Coach Stefanski was saying how, he's seen you on film for all these years, but getting you in the building and learning what you're all about in the classroom has been something that he's learned. Like, how much pride do you take in that part of your game and just being a student of it, and how's that related to, what you're able to do on the field with your route running and everything else?
Yeah, listen, I've been blessed, with a tremendous talent, to play this game, to play this position. I love practicing. Like, I love running routes. That's what I love to do. And every opportunity I get to show off my route running, to show off me, beating a defensive back, I look forward to it. Like, I'm always looking forward to practice. I'm always looking forward to the routes that I have on the script and visualizing how I can get open so I can just show everybody who's watching on the sideline, all other receivers, all my other teammates, the coaches, what I can do. So hopefully that answers your question, but I look forward to playing this game.
I think the first day of
I'm going to make this our last one.
first day of off-season program, I think it snowed. Now it's 90 degrees.
Yeah.
You're from South Florida. Where do you make up this weather?
Yeah, I keep hearing it's gonna be cold, but it's hot. But no, I already know what time it is as far as the weather. Yeah, it's just another thing. Look, listen, the best players, the best people, the most successful people and players are the ones that are able to adapt the best. And I'm gonna be able to adapt to any situation. I can play in any weather. That's
You're hot.
My concerns really.
All right, that was Amari Cooper at the podium at the conclusion of mandatory minicamp. Go ahead. Sad.
So Amari Cooper, I know, not even my fault, demerit. Amari Cooper is a guy who is very quiet, but when you listen to him, you can tell that he is very much a leader. He understands, what his role is here. But I was surprised to learn that if people were paying attention to the AWOC one, he talked some trash on the field, which is not something that I would have expected from him. From just kind of the way he carries himself, and I've certainly enjoyed getting to talk to him. But he's a quiet guy. He's about his business. He leads through example, obviously in tremendous physical condition. But I thought that was a funny little nugget from AWOC in there that he's like, we got Amari in there talking trash to us. And I was like, okay, all right. I like that.
Yeah, I think you have to when you're as good as he's been his entire career and as good as he's been his whole life. Okay, so Barstool put this out. I'm going to run this by you guys with the U.S. Open going on right now at the Country Club. So this is flawed, so I'm going to amend it because they blow it a little bit on this. You get one free round. Which course are you choosing? So they have Augusta, Pebble Beach, Pine Valley, Pinehurst, Sawgrass, Shinnecock, St. Andrews, the U.S. Open, and Wailea. So the problem with this is they get this so wrong. You cannot have Augusta and Pine Valley and Shinnecock in there because those you can't get on. Like Shinnecock, you might be able to get on. You can't get on Pine Valley and Augusta. Those are impossible to get on.
I know people, though, who have played Pine Valley.
I do, too.
Way more than Augusta.
The only people I know who have played Augusta are famous people.
Yes.
That's it. I don't know anybody who's not famous who's played Augusta. I do know people who have played Pine Valley.
Same.
But it's hard. I mean, it's like Seminole, Cypress. Like, those are the hardest ones
to me, though,
get on.
It should have been
so those shouldn't be on here.
It should have been Augusta or Cypress. Or you just do those.
Just do those. Just do the impossible. You can't, like, Pebble's public. Pinehurst is Pebble. Sawgrass is public.
Love Sawgrass. Has no business being in this conversation.
Sawgrass, I don't love it. It is
fine.
There's one hole.
The final three are excellent.
18's a full day.
16's great, too. The par 5 before the par 3.
But it's like, come on.
No,
like
the rest of it's whatever.
It's completely average.
Totally.
To me, like, this would be St. Andrews would be the choice here. Now, I know you've played that.
Twice.
Yeah.
And
so that would probably be mine. And then Pebble. But, like, you can play all those. You could play St. Andrews. You can play Pebble. You can play Pinehurst.
Yes.
So this is a flawed list.
Yeah, it's awful.
Because there's some you can and some you can't play. So it's no good.
Yeah.
What do you think? What is your handicap now? You're like a 3? 2, 3?
Right now, I'm a 1.
You're a 1. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a 1.
I was a +1 a couple weeks ago, but being a 1 is way more fun.
All right, so you're a 1. What do you think you would shoot at the Country Club with a U.S. Open setup?
Right now, today?
Right now, yeah.
I would be thrilled to be 85 or better.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So like you think, you like 15 shots.
I mean, it's hard. Like if you're saying I just walked on there and I hadn't played it, like after a practice round, I do think I'd be able to get like. I think I'd like to think that if I'm playing well and striking the ball well, that I could get around.
What are these guys?
90,
if you're a 1, what are they?
+6s probably.
Okay.
I'd like to think that I could get around at like an 81. If it's a par 72, like an 81, I feel like it would be a really, really good score. And then if I play great, I have a chance to get into the highest of 70s. And if I play bad, I could be in the 90s easy.
Yeah. So I thought a 10 handicap at the Country Club on a U.S. Open setup would be like 110.
Doesn't break 100. Yeah.
No chance they break 100. I thought they'd be like 110 or 115.
Yes.
On a 10 handicap on a U.S. Open setup.
A little tough break from the golf gods for Phil right there. Big 3/4 lip out. He's not pleased. Sad.
Yeah, I don't blame him. All right. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. So much more to come.
Yeah, it's never just a joke. 2022 Cleveland Browns training camp will feature 11 free open practices for fans at the Cross Country Mortgage campus in Berea. All of the sessions available to fans beginning on Saturday, July 30th. Will start at approximately 2 p.m. with gates opening an hour beforehand. Training camp is an incredible time of year for our team and our fans through the heightened excitement and anticipation of the upcoming season. Our fans are eager for the season to start, and we're eager to host them at the Cross Country Mortgage campus, said Senior Vice President of Marketing and Media Brent Rossi. The Browns will debut a new training camp layout this year that enhances the team's long-standing commitment to offering Brown season ticket members and fans an immersive, engaging experience at all open practices. In addition to increasing interactive activations on-site, the team now has the opportunity to create unique hospitality spaces, including viewing areas specifically dedicated to season ticket members following the acquisition of the properties adjacent to the Cross Country Mortgage campus in Berea. Tickets will be available to the public on Thursday, June the 23rd. That's next Thursday. Browns season ticket members once again receive a special 48-hour window to reserve their tickets to training camp practices starting on Tuesday the 21st. Each account can register for up to 4 tickets to an individual session. Similar to past training camps and home games at First Energy Stadium, print tickets will not be available this year, so download the Browns mobile app. Browns Live Training Camp will also return in 2022.
Oh, boy.
So get ready for that. We've got a lot coming your way. So, again, it starts on Saturday, July the 30th.
There you go. Next level's coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.